Let me get straight to the heart of the matter, which is Sputnik V. We've had a number of requests from actually a lot of viewers that watch us that want to know some of the promises that you've made on how many of the doses you'd be able to deliver to countries outside Russia. Can you keep the promises you've done so far?
Yes, definitely. We'll actually have a great meeting today with President Putin and producers of the vaccine, and you will see more than 20 producers in 14 countries that are producing Sputnik already or will be producing shortly. So we're on track to deliver vaccine enough for 800 million people this year. And it's very important because we cannot be the only solution to pandemic, but definitely Sputnik is one of the solutions. And we all need to work together because only together we can defeat COVID. We can win the race with different mutants that are out there. And I think we need to really work together, different vaccine producers, different countries, not to make vaccines political, but really make vaccine a positive human enterprise.
I mean, 800 million is actually the larger than the figure I heard of 700 million. Does it, I mean, I think a large hub for the production was India. Does the horrific, what's going on in India with COVID-19 change the production hub, or are you still able to produce it there?
Well, today you will see 5 of our producers from India, and we have agreement with Indian government that a big part of production in India will go to India, but also a significant part will be able to export from India. So basically, we are going to work with India as a core hubs of production, but we also have China, we also have Korea. We have, as I mentioned, 14 countries, and Russia is unique in that we set up partnerships with all those nations. We are fully transferring them technology to produce a vaccine, and it makes them more vaccine independent, allows them to save their people and to export vaccine as well.
So I understand that, some of your biggest customers are Turkey, 50 million doses, Mexico and Argentina. Is that progressing to plan and within the timeline?
Well, definitely. And if you see at the real world vaccination data from Argentina, from Mexico, from Hungary, from San Marino, from other nations, you see Sputnik performing as one of the safest and most efficient vaccines. And it's very important because people were asking questions about, Russia, but it's not a Russian project anymore. We are vaccinating in UAE, in Bahrain, in more than 45 nations are being vaccinated with Sputnik right now, with 66 nations having approved it, with a population of 3.2 billion people. So yes, we are going to deliver vaccines on plan, and we are playing a big role. And we also have a new vaccine called Sputnik Light, which is just one of our first shots, and basically it showed efficacy of 80% in Argentina. And this is also going to be an important product for countries who want to have one-shot vaccine.
How's the vaccination progress actually going in Russia? I think I was looking at some independent polls, Mr. Dmitriev, that actually, said about 2/3 of Russians actually don't want the vaccine. At some point, if there's a third wave in Russia, will you have to make it mandatory for people?
Well, we just had another poll that in Germany, more than 60% of people are willing to be vaccinated with Sputnik, and actually 70% in East Germany. But in Russia, you are right, we need to increase vaccination rates. And basically, Russia has been a bit of a victim of its own success. We have only 1/3 of COVID cases on the peak 2 months ago, and many people feel that COVID is finished. But we need to have better education of people and basically better vaccination rates. We feel that vaccination rates already are increasing. We are hoping to double vaccination rates monthly in the next 1 month. And definitely vaccinations are important, but COVID cases in Russia right now are actually significantly below what they were before.
So can you give us exact numbers of how many people have been vaccinated in Russia or even in Moscow, and how you expect that to proceed in the next couple of weeks and months?
Well, I think Ministry of Health will give the specific number. We actually definitely have around 20 million of people who've been vaccinated in Russia, and this number is going to increase significantly. The goal is to vaccinate up to 60% of the population, and we will do this basically in June, July. So we believe that by July we'll have most of the people in Russia who wanted to be vaccinated fully vaccinated.
Have you had any issues with vaccine raw material shortages?
No, because we actually are working with lots of suppliers around the world. We rely a lot on the Chinese components as well, and we built a supply chain to be resilient, so we are not dependent on a particular nation for any of the supplies. We have several, nations to choose from. And I think this is very important because you're right, supply chain is a big issue for many vaccine producers, and we really focused on on diversifying the supply base.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. And of course, good luck at the St. Petersburg Economic Forum. Kirill Dmitriev there, the Russian Direct Investment Fund Chief Executive Officer.